If you want to understand the world in early 2026, you really don't need a crystal ball. Just look at what we're all watching online. Because what we're seeing is this fascinating and kind of conflicting story about our biggest hopes and our deepest fears, often playing out at the exact same time. So let's take a look at what this digital mirror is showing us. On one hand, the picture looks incredibly rosy. At the start of the year, the S&P 500 is just smashing records, right? It's hovering around 6,014. That single number represents a huge amount of optimism in the market, a widespread belief that the economy is humming along and growth is right around the corner. But here's the twist. At the very same moment, what else is trending? Videos with titles just like this one. They're racking up millions upon millions of views, warning of a catastrophic crash that's supposedly just about to hit. So while the money is flowing into the market, so is the anxiety. So this brings us to the big question, right? How can both of these things be happening at once? We've got a record-breaking boom on one side and a doomsday warning on the other. And both are capturing our collective attention. What on earth does this tell us about where our heads are at right now? Okay, to start untangling this, let's look at the first major theme that's just dominating our screens. It's this explosion of really optimistic, forward-looking content about all the incredible tech breakthroughs that are supposedly just around the corner. It turns out there is a massive public appetite for understanding what's next. Seriously, millions of us are actively tuning into these educational videos and deep dives, trying to get a handle on the technologies that are fundamentally reshaping our world. And this isn't just casual scrolling, it's a real drive to learn. And what's really wild is the sheer breadth of our curiosity. We're not just watching videos about the next smartphone. No, we're digging into the evolution of AI, the, mind-bending potential of quantum computing, massive revolutions in biotech, and even the future of space travel. It shows this powerful collective excitement for progress. And just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, let's just grab one of these topics, quantum computing. So in simple terms, this is about building computers that can solve problems that are literally impossible for even the biggest supercomputers we have today. The fact that explainer videos on this are trending, well, it just shows how hungry we are for these huge world-changing ideas. And this whole trend is being led by a new generation of online educators. You know them. Channels like Fireship, MKBHD, and Linus Tech Tips have become our guides to this super complex future. They're breaking down everything from AI news to hardware specs in a way that's actually engaging. They're making the future feel, well, understandable. Okay, so now let's pivot. As we move from the world of tech to the world of finance, that clear-eyed optimism, it gets a lot more complicated. The story here is all about high stakes and some incredibly deep divisions. The financial content that's trending right now is just starkly divided. You basically have two camps of experts, both with huge followings, looking at the exact same data and coming to completely opposite conclusions about where we're headed. So on one side, you have the market's bulls, the optimists. They see a potential for another 18 to 19% upside. They're pointing to massive AI investments and the idea that the Fed might ease up on policy, maybe lower interest rates. But on the other side, you've got the bears, the pessimists, and they are sounding the alarm. They see a market that's in a state of euphoria and are warning of drops anywhere from 50 to 70%, citing huge geopolitical risks and policy debates that just aren't getting solved. Just look at this chart. This is not a small disagreement over a few percentage points. The gap between the bull case, nearly 20% growth, and the bear case, a 60% crash, is a chasm. It represents a fundamental disagreement about the stability of our entire economic system. It's such a massive disconnect, you have to wonder if these two narratives are even happening on the same planet. So we have these two enormous conflicting trends, right? On one hand, incredible excitement about our technological future. On the other, profound anxiety about our economic present. But what if they're not separate stories? What if they're actually two sides of the same coin, both being powered by the very same engine? So, what is that one force? What's the common thread that weaves through videos about quantum computing and stock market volatility? Well, the answer, of course, is artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is the crucial part. AI is playing this incredible dual role. It all starts with tech innovation. AI is the foundational engine for all those breakthroughs in robotics and biotech we're so excited to learn about. That innovation then directly drives market growth, fueling those massive stock rallies in the S&P 500. But here's the rub. That same transformative power, Its sheer unpredictability, that's what magnifies the market's volatility. It creates such high stakes that it fuels both the wild optimism of the bulls and the dire warnings of the bears. And you can see this in really tangible ways. In the tech world, AI is enhancing creator tools, making the very videos we're watching even possible. In the markets, it's fueling the incredible stock performance of companies like Nvidia and Cisco, the ones building the actual backbone of the AI revolution. So AI is both the subject of our fascination and the source of the market's incredible value. So what does all this add up to? When you put all the pieces together, the excitement, the fear, the tech, the money, you get a really clear picture of our collective mindset in 2026. It's a state of what you might call anxious optimism. And this is really the core takeaway. Our digital viewing habits, our screens, they really do reflect a society that is genuinely incredibly excited for the long-term future that technology is promising. We want to learn about it, we want to understand it, and we want to be part of it. But at the exact same time, we are deeply nervous about the stability and the risks of the here and now. And that leaves us with one final, lingering question. We know the pace of technological progress is only going to get faster. AI will get smarter, robotics more advanced, biotech more powerful. But as that happens, can our confidence in the systems that govern our world, our economies, our societies, actually keep up? That's the tension we're all living in right here in 2026.